Okay. Hello, good evening, everyone. Just want to call the meeting to order for the Oxnard Public Works and Transportation Committee for September 29th, 2025. Madam Clerk, may we have the roll call and posting of the agenda, please?
Chair MacArthur,
Here?
Committee Member Basua,
Here.
Committee Member Teran.
Here.
The agenda for this meeting was posted in the kiosks at City Hall, the Oxnard Public Library, the city administrative offices, and on the city's website on Tuesday, September 2nd. Thank you.
Thank you. If I can just have everyone rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. You can just repeat after me. Ready? Begin. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So we have both our city attorney's office as well as our mayor pro tem joining us virtual. The next item on the agenda is public comments for items not on the agenda. Yes, go ahead.
I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead.
Mayor. Vice Chair Teran has an announcement to make.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to share for the record that I am participating remotely as noticed on the agenda from Medford, Oregon. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. We'll move to the next item on the agenda. This is for public comments for items not on the agenda and non-action items. Madam Clerk, are there any speakers for this item?
Chair MacArthur and committee members, we do not have any public speakers in person or virtually for items not on the agenda. Thank you.
Given that, we will next move to the consent agenda. And the only item I see here is the approval of the minutes for the July 8th and July 22nd, 2025 Public Works and Transportation Committee meetings. Any members have any questions or comments on this item? Mayor Pro Tem, nothing? Okay. Are there any
None. If there are no corrections to the minutes that are presented here, I would move to accept them.
I will second.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, are there any members of the public wishing to speak on this item?
And Chair MacArthur and committee members, we do not have any speakers in person or virtually for the information and consent agenda. Thank you.
Thank you. Just call for the vote on this item.
Committee Member Basua? Yes. Vice Chair Teran
Yes.
and Chair MacArthur?
Yes,
And this motion carries 3-0. Thank you.
thank you. The next item on the agenda is item D1. Multiple agreements for on-call real property services in right-of-way acquisition. The recommendation that the Public Works and Transportation Committee recommend that the City Council approve and authorize the mayor to execute the following agreements, each with an initial term of 1 year from October 9, 2025 to October 8, 2026, with an option for 4 consecutive one-year period extensions ending October 8, 2030, and this is for on-call professional real property services and right-of-way acquisition. One, an agreement with Beacon Integrated Professional Resources, Inc., DBA Hammer, Jewel, and Associates for a total amount not to exceed $500,000. Agreement with Bender Rosenthal, Inc., for a total amount not to exceed $500,000. And lastly, agreement with Clark Land Resources, Inc., for a total amount not to exceed $500,000. And we have staff from the Public Works Department here to answer any questions committee members may have. Are there any public comments on this particular item?
Chair MacArthur and committee members, we do not have any public speakers for this report. Thank you.
Thank you. Any committee members have any questions of staff on this item? No, I don't have any.
No.
Okay,
So
What's-
I will move the recommended action.
sounds good.
I'll second.
Madam Clerk, call for the vote.
Vice Chair Teran,
Yes.
Committee Member Basua,
Yes.
Chair MacArthur,
Yes,
and this motion carries 3-0. Thank you.
thank you. The next item is D2, multiple agreements for on-call landscaping architect services. The recommended actions that the Public Works and Transportation Committee recommend that the City Council approve and authorize the mayor to execute the following agreements, each with an initial term of 3 years from October 8th, 2025 to October 7th, 2028, with an option for 2 consecutive one-year period extensions ending October 7th, 2030 for on-call professional landscape architect services. First agreement is with David Volz, Design Landscape Architects. DBA, David Volz Design, for a total amount not to exceed $750,000. Second agreement is with IDS Group, INC, for a total amount not to exceed $750,000. Third agreement with Pacific Coast Land Design, Inc., for a total amount not to exceed $750,000. And last agreement with RJM Design Group, Inc., for a total amount not to exceed $750,000. And staff from the Public Works Department is here to answer any questions committee members may have. Are there any public speakers on this particular item?
Chair MacArthur, we do not have any public speakers in person or virtually for this item. Thank you.
Thank you. Any committee member have any questions of staff on this item? No? Nothing, Mayor Pro Tem? Okay. I just appreciate this item myself, particularly knowing how big I am on landscaping. I think this is, I appreciate the report and just excited about bringing this to council for approval. So thank you for the work behind this item. Thank you. I move the item as recommended. Madam Clerk, call for the vote.
Chair MacArthur,
Yes.
Committee Member Basua, Vice Chair Teran,
Yes.
and this motion carries 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you. The next item is D3. Fiscal year 25-26, Harbor Island Homeowners Association donation to Waterways Maintenance Assessment District Zone 2. This is the Harbor Island Agreement and Budget Adjustment. The recommended action is that the Public Works and Transportation Committee recommend that the City Council, acting as the legislative body of the Waterways Maintenance Assessment District, approve and authorize, one, the acceptance of $17,400 in donation from the Harbor Island Homeowners Association, HOA, to support landscape maintenance and on-call services within the Harbor Island Linear Park, and two, approve agreement entered by in between the City of Oxnard and the Harbor Island Homeowners Association for the donation, and three, approval of associated budget appropriation within the Waterways Maintenance Assessment District Zone 2 Harbor Island Fund to recognize the full amount of the donation revenue and to authorize expenditures up to the full amount of the available funding consistent with the specific purposes outlined in this agreement. And members of the Public Works Department are here to answer any questions committee members may have. Madam, yes, we have a virtual.
Chair MacArthur, we have Vice Chair Teran who has a question.
Wonderful. Okay. Go ahead, Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you. Thank you. Just a question for staff on this, just so that we can have the context on this on the record. Can we share a little bit of the key points of this item in front of us and why the HOA is making a donation and why we're accepting the donation on behalf of the special district?
Absolutely. Good evening, committee. Anthony Miller, Special Districts Manager, and this particular item is being brought forward to the council due to some funding difficulties that this district in particular faces. The Waterway Zone 2 area encompasses the Harbor Island neighborhood and cares for the linear park that surrounds the Harbor Island neighborhood. It's a subsection of the Waterways Assessment District, which covers Mandalay Bay and Harbor Island together. However, the two zones are assessed at different rates due to the manner in which the district was formed and the improvements by which they take care of. The district was formed prior to Proposition 218 being passed in 1996, and as such has not had any increase in its assessment rates since that time. In order to raise an equivalent amount of money for usage today, if taking inflation into account, the assessment for the district would have to be approximately in the staff report here $98,000, whereas the current assessment's actually only $47,000 roughly. So, in order to keep the area around the linear park and around the neighborhood up to the standards what the HOA would like to see, the HOA has agreed to provide a donation to cover costs for extra projects and for higher levels of service for landscape services. However, this still, even with this donation, the budget for this district still doesn't cover any potential major expenses that we may incur, or larger replacement projects that we may incur. So in reality, this donation is it's just to get us by. But the HOA wants to see the quality of service be maintained at an acceptable level to their standards, and so they've agreed to provide this generous donation.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. And just as a follow-up to that, it's listed in the staff report, but just so we can have this on the record as well, this is not the first fiscal year in which the HOA has elected to make such a donation, correct?
That is correct. Within the past 5 years, the HOA has donated in 2020 and 21 approximately just under $5,000, and again donated in 23-24 fiscal year 23-24 a little over $15,000 for the same purposes, or similar purposes, excuse me.
Okay, thank you. And my last question, just in case anybody who watches this committee or the council meetings may be a little confused, we went through a fairly extensive exercise in this committee on developing a policy for LMDs. That would not apply to this particular district because it's a different type of district. Is that correct?
That is correct. This is an assessment district that is formed under a different section of the state code, and as such has different governing requirements. And the LMD policy does not apply to this district.
Okay, thank you. Those are my questions. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. Councilwoman, any questions for him?
You know, I just have a comment.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, go ahead.
So I just want to make sure that a couple of quick things. The Harbor Island HOA for being such great partners and allowing this money to come into our funds in order to landscape maintenance the area needed. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Madam Clerk, are any public speakers on this item?
Chair MacArthur and committee members, we do not have any public speakers in person or virtually for this item. Thank you.
Thank you. What's the pleasure of the committee on this item?
I'll move the recommended action.
Okay, so we have we'll take that as a second. Call for the vote, Madam Clerk?
Committee member Basua,
Yes.
Vice Chair Teran,
Yes.
Chair MacArthur,
Yes,
and this motion carries 3-0. Thank you.
thank you. We'll move to the next item on the agenda. This is item D4. Purchase orders with Gibbs International and the Charles Machine Works for heavy equipment for the Public Works Water Division. The recommendations of the Public Works and Transportation Committee recommend that the City Council approve and authorize the purchasing agent to execute 2 purchase orders for the following: Gibbs International Inc. for a not to exceed value up to $300,000 for the purchase of a 2026 HV 607 SBA International truck. It's a 10-ton dump truck. And 2, the Charles Machine Works Inc. for a not to exceed value of up to $700,000 for the purchase of a 2025 Kenworth T480 with a ditch witch hydro vacuum truck excavator W8 standard package. It's a vacuum truck, and staff from the Public Works Department is here. Any public speakers on this particular item before we get into discussion?
Chair MacArthur and committee members, we do not have any public speakers in person or virtually for this item. Thank you.
Thank you. Any committee members have any questions for staff on this item?
No.
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem, go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much. Just a quick question, if we can just chat with staff briefly about the vehicles in question and why we're seeking to replace them.
Certainly. Good evening, committee chair, committee members. Tim Beeman, Assistant Director of Public Works. I oversee the water and wastewater divisions. So these vehicle replacements were done in coordination with our fleet services division, and in particular with the dump truck. The existing trailer and equipment that the trailer carries is towed by our current dump truck. However, when that dump truck has a full load within its bed, it exceeds the limit, and so that's one of the main reasons for the replacement with this larger dump truck. For the vac truck, We previously owned a similar device that was pulled on a trailer. So this one is slightly larger. It is a fully contained unit. Other water districts I worked for that had, I'd say half as many connections. This is very standard equipment. To be honest with you, I was a little surprised when I came here that we didn't have this sort of device. And this has been in the discussion of the budget for a couple of years now. And perhaps I'm a little bit at fault with this, but we always have a water main break sometime around Thanksgiving or Christmas, usually right before. And this year it was right before Thanksgiving. And when I went out, because I happened to be passing on the way into work, I said, "Where's the vac truck?" And they said, "Well, it's out of service." So the one we had did have a leak in the tank, and then we did look at doing rentals. However, those were constantly out of service as well. So when we needed them, they weren't always available.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Also, I just want to make sure we add, as noted in the staff report, that the dump truck is also not in compliance with the carbs emission. So it's going to have to be replaced regardless of its condition as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Much appreciated. And just as I guess a technical question from the staff report, it states in the report that the dump truck, in addition to not being compliant with carb emission standards, it says that it has inadequate hauling capacity to accommodate the existing trailer and equipment when loaded. And in the presentation, it showed the trailer with heavy equipment, and it stated the truck needed to be empty when hauling. The replacement truck, will it have a higher rating for towing capacity and being able to be loaded and pull the equipment with it as well? Or is there some other malfunction or something that makes it so that the current dump truck can't do that?
So let me start, because there is the photo of that, and I should probably explain that that the rating for the existing truck does not meet what's required for the trailer and the equipment on it. Now, that doesn't mean that staff is hauling it around, out of compliance. What they are, they'll bring it out to the job site, unhook the trailer, remove the equipment, load up the dump truck, bring the dump truck back to the yard, unload it, and bring it back. So they're operating it safely, but it's requiring more staff and a number of more trips to be able to complete a project or repair on a leak. So I probably should have specified that to begin with. But yes, this new 10-wheel dump truck does have a higher load capacity, and so it is fully capable of having a full load within the dump truck and carry the trailer and the equipment.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. Those are my questions, Mayor. Thank you. And thank you, Mr. Beeman and Mr. Wolf.
Thank you, Gabe. What's the pleasure of committee on this item?
I will move the recommended action.
I will second.
Madam Clerk, call for the vote.
Chair MacArthur and committee members, we did not have any public speakers for this item. Vice Chair Theran,
Yes.
Chair MacArthur,
Yes,
Committee Member Basua,
Yes.
and this motion carries 3-0. Thank you.
thank you. We'll move to item D5. This is adopting the 2025 City of Oxnard Water System Design and Construction Standards and an update to the 2002 City of Oxnard Standard Plates and Design Criteria. The recommendation is that the Public Works and Transportation Committee recommend that the City Council, 1, adopt a resolution approving the 2025 Water System Design and Construction Standards and an update to the 2002 City of Oxnard Standard Plates and Design Criteria for the Public Works construction. 2, delegating discretionary authority to the Public Works City Engineer to approve future revisions to the 2025 Water System Design and Construction Standards and 2002 City of Oxnard Standard Plates and Design Criteria. And 3, authorizing the city manager to take whatever actions are necessary and appropriate to carry out the purpose and intent of this resolution. Public Works staff is here to answer any questions we may have. I'll start with any public comments on this particular item.
Chair MacArthur and committee members, we do not have any public speakers in person or virtually for this item. Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments or questions? Go ahead, Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you very much. Just a quick question for staff. I don't know if Mr. Chow, Mr. Kessler, or Mr. Wolf would be able to speak to this, but in looking at the staff report, there are a number of items stated in the background regarding the design criteria and the need for the updates that are before us, or that will be before us. And the reference to design immunity is mentioned for maintaining a design immunity and the need to approve these new and updated standards. So I'm wondering if somebody can speak to what that phrase means and why it's important in this regard.
Mr. Vice Chair, this is Tai Chow, Assistant Director for Community Development and also City Engineer for Land Development. That is a great question, and I believe you have two questions, which is the first one is design immunity. Through the research of this item in terms of the standards, staff has been doing research to find out whether City Council has approved the standard to ensure that we obtain the design immunity. And for that purpose, I actually printed out a portion of the code section, and I will read this to you very shortly to allow you to, all of us in that matter of fact, to understand what that design immunity means. So according to Government Code Sections 830.6, it reads, neither a public entity nor a public employee is liable under this chapter for an injury caused by the plan or design of a construction of or an improvement to public property where such plan or design has been approved in advance of the construction or improvement by the legislative body of the public entity or by some other body or employee exercising discretionary authority to give such approval. So that is a really, really, really strong statement, and it is quite vital that we as city staff receive that approval from City Council ultimately to allow us to obtain this immunity. If there are further questions about the portion of the law, I would respectfully defer that to our City Attorney's Office to answer. The second questions pertaining the regular updates, because a lot of these technical requirements are essentially ongoing. We have new technology, we have new means and method that is being introduced every year, and we as a public agency would like to adopt sound construction standard to make sure that we are in line with the industry. And because of that reason, we are going to request the committee to recommend to the City Council to delegate that authority to the Public Works City Engineer, so that way he can make regular updates. Of course, when it comes to the updates, it's going to be a collaborative effort between community development and public works to make sure that we utilize all the technical expert and knowledge within our city to make sure that we are in line with industry. So I hope that answered your questions.
Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate the response.
Thank you. Any
Committee
questions?
members, if I may, really quickly on the design immunity, if you recall, we passed a purchasing ordinance earlier this year, and in it, it's Oxnard City Code Section 4-15, and that includes our design immunity that delegates the authority to our Public Works Director, City Engineer, and Community Development Director or their designees. So we already have that scheme in place, so we wouldn't need any additional or further delegations. If you want to, you can, but we've already got that all set up. And it's in accordance with Government Code 830.6. Thank you.
Thank you for that insight. Thank you. If there are no further questions, what's the pleasure of committee members on this item?
I'll move the recommended action.
Okay.
I will second.
Madam Clerk, call for the vote.
Chair MacArthur,
Yes.
Committee Member Basua,
Yes.
Vice Chair Teran,
Yes.
and this motion carries 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you. Unless a member of this committee has any future agenda items, and there be no further business on the agenda, and without objection, we are adjourned. Thank you.